So Bungie has re-enabled Gyrfalcons, and with the recent sidearm buff whereby sidearms now have had their auto-aim fall-off distance increased by 30% across the board, we're about to enter a new PvP meta, and it's going to be a toxic one. Sidearms overall feel absolutely insane on both controller and MNK, and they are absolutely the meta now. You could theoretically use any sidearm with Gyrfalcons, and the 15% damage boost it gives is going to make it feel very good. But, and there's a big but, there's two specific combinations here that are going to wreak absolute havoc over the Crucible for the remainder of this season, and probably the next one as well, unless Bungie does some tuning to either the weapon or the subclass. So one build uses Rat King and the other Drang, both sidearms of the same archetype and damage profile, and both combinations I'll be discussing today, which will be using the same Void 3.0 build, dim link for which is in the Discord, link for which is in the comments or description below. Now, Rat King's synergy with Gyrfalcons creates a virtually seamless loop of Invis, damage boost, Invis, and repeat. It truly shines in sixes, even with SBMM weighing heavy on the playlist. And Drang is an absolute monster of a sidearm. It's a complete outlier in terms of its zoom and effective range. It's going to be the 1v1 king here, and Gyrfalcons just takes it to a whole new level. Both of these builds are extremely potent, and which one you use is going to come down to personal preference, the secondary weapon you like using, and what game mode you are running. Remember, if you find any of what I talk about useful today, remember to like the video, as that helps me out a ton. So Gyrfalcons provides a 15% damage boost when you come out of invisibility for 3 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot of time, but it makes both of these sidearms extremely forgiving. Both of these sidearms are within the adaptive archetype, which hits for 51 on the head and 37 to the body, which means you require 4 headshots for the optimal 0.6 second TTK for a Guardian at 10 resilience. Now, 4 out of 4 headshots isn't forgiving at all, especially in this high resilience meta, where you're facing Arc Titans all running 10 resilience. What Gyrfalcons does is the 15% damage boost takes the damage values to 59 to the head and 42 to the body. Therefore, you only need 2 headshots and 2 body shots for a kill at 10 resilience. That's a ridiculous improvement. It's so much more forgiving and consistent to achieve the 0.6 second TTK. Now, you'll notice in the gameplay the first shot doesn't receive the damage boost, but even then, 51, 59, 42, 42 is 194 damage, which is still 2 headshotting, 2 body shotting Guardians, up to and including 7 resilience. For those higher resilience Guardians, it's still going to 3 headshot and 1 body shot them, which is still much more forgiving. Rat King, in comparison to Drang, loses out in terms of zoom and effective range, but ever since the buff, it actually feels extremely usable, and you can really push out its effective range without losing stickiness. It has a better aim assist than Drang once you get the catalyst, and a perfect 100 recoil direction, making it pretty easy to use actually. Its main perk, whereby you get to go invisible upon a kill, feeds into Gyrfalcon's loop incredibly well, and when I was using it in sixes, it was so easy to tear lobbies apart. Go invis, start shooting, and get the damage boost, get a kill, go invis automatically again, and then the next engagement get the damage boost again. It's extremely potent and satisfying, and with this build, you have 2 other ways to go invisible. You literally have a 100% uptime for invisibility. Drang, on the other hand, for me is the 1v1 sidearm king. It's 14 zoom, which is a whole 2 zoom higher than Rat King, which is making it a complete outlier. It's got nearly 20 meters of effective range with a god roll. It's also craftable, and equally important is that it lets you access 2 meta-defining weapons currently. Number 1, Arbalist, which with the sniper flinch nerfs that haven't yet hit linears, means it's going to be a real menace this season. And on top, Gyrfalcons boosts Arbalist's body shot damage to 190, which means it can clean up Guardians below 3 resilience, and it can be extremely destructive with the slightest team shotting. The other weapon you can access is Forerunner, which is equally an insane weapon on its own right. With Invis and Gyrfalcons, you're looking at another deadly combination taken to new levels. Forerunner's headshot value goes from 72 to 83. Which means even with the first shot, while Invis not getting the damage boost, you can still 2 headshot 1 body shot a Guardian, which is a big improvement from the 3 headshot requirement before. Now let's go over my Void 3.0 build and the mods I'm using. I'm using Marksman's dodge, which lets me go Invis more often than Gambler's dodge and reload my weapons with the dodge. Then I'm using Strafe Jump, Snare Bomb, and Axion Bolt. My Aspects, Vanishing Step, and Trapper's Ambush both let me go invisible through my dodge, and Snare Bomb or Quick Fall respectively. For my fragments, I run Echo of Dilation for the improved radar, better sneak speed, and stat boost. Echo of Leeching so melee kills start health regeneration, and Echo of Persistence so Invis lasts longer. For my stat distribution, I highly recommend both 100 mobility and 100 recovery as a priority here. 100 mobility is going to let you dodge more often and go Invis more often, and then 100 recovery will let you get back into the action quicker. Then 100 strength comes in next so that you can activate your smoke Invis more often. Finally, I recommend Intellect so you can get your super for those trials rounds faster, Resilience to at least 3 or 4 so you don't die to gimmicks such as another Gyrfalcon's Arbalist, and then finally Discipline. For my mods, I'm running a pretty standard setup here with Radiant Light, Powerful Friend so I can get the stat boosts, and I can achieve Charge with Light so I can access High Energy Fire, which means when I'm not boosted by Gyrfalcons, I can sometimes still access a 20% damage boost. I then have double utility kickstart on my cloak so I can dodge more often, and then finally I'm running relevant targeting and dexterity mods. So there you have it folks, the 2 Gyrfalcon Sidearm builds that are about to dominate the Crucible for this season, and probably some of next season as well. If you found what I talked about today useful, remember to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more upcoming Destiny, PvP, and PvE content to keep you up to date. I'm Mr. Ronnet, and that's it for today. Peace out, guys.